Okay, so welcome to the Human Blockchain Multi-Layered Coaching and Mentoring Training. Now, this training program is, again, very advanced because whether you are a coach that's established or someone just starting out, or you want to scale your business in terms of coaching or mentoring or training, this program is designed to cover all bases and really put you to the test. It's the multi-layered approach, which means it's very similar to the leadership and management training program. You can do both, but they've both got different kinds of nuances. You know, if in leadership and management, it's very much based around the corporate sector, taking people and getting them to achieve within a certain dynamic, which is the business entrepreneurial dynamic. Whereas if you're looking to coach or mentor, you're looking to support and help people who are pushing forward. And that's what this program is all about. So let's dive in and look at the first position with this. Now, as I've said, it's for anybody who would like to become a coach, anybody who would like to develop as a mentor, and everybody who wants to develop a business. And you could be in a corporate setting and want to develop as a coach within that and help your members of staff, help them achieve within their organisation. Or you might be wanting to come into organisations, or you might want to be doing life coaching or any form of coaching and mentoring that is out there, because this is going to cover all the bases over a 21-week program. Now, the benefit for you is that it's fully sponsored. That means that you come into it and the first 4 weeks are a fully sponsored system where you get to understand how you can prospect for clients, what's going to be a good client, what's going to be a bad client, what you need to do in terms of investing into people if you were to look to train other people in the coaching skills that you've got, and the motivational techniques and the training techniques that you might use, and then the support that you would give those people to develop their own abilities. This is all about growth. This is all about the development of human consciousness. So again, this is very much more leaning into the consciousness world, and we use as a foundation for the coaching that we do NMA, Neuroplastic Mental Acceleration. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about that. You've got access to the app, you've got access to the polymathic training, and you may have already done the live training yourself to a professional level. But NMA is a very specific way of approaching coaching too. It's a way of looking at it and saying, okay, I'm going to work with the brain first and foremost, because if I work with giving people hints and tips, well, nothing's going to change in their cognitive map, the way that they're approaching life. So to address and start to understand techniques that are available through NMA, changing of language patterns, self-identification, where the person is going, destiny thinking, these sorts of aspects are very much part of that methodology. And okay, we're not going to go hugely deep on that, but what we're going to be doing is always looking at it from that context. And that's what you're going to be doing through this training. Now, the training itself is 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. And that's going to be done by someone who is going to invest into you and sponsor you through the training. The training will be half an hour of a recorded training on the particular subject, and then you're going to get the opportunity to discuss that with your group. So it's a very live fire, active kind of training. Rather than you being part of many, many people listening, you get to have direct communication and contact. And it's all about innovation for you, coming up with ideas and developing your brain into what we call super creative and super fluid states, which are really the extreme kind of way of using the brain in our current consciousness level. Most people are in an unconscious reactive state being run by the unconscious, whereas what we want to be doing is really starting to connect and collaborate and co-create in a world to make the world a better place. Not just ourselves, we obviously want to be better versions of ourselves, but we want to make the world a better place by starting to learn to work together, which is very important in terms of our relationship with artificial consciousness, our AI, and the evolving situation in that. So there's a very big opportunity, because many people will be coming out of work because they're losing their careers, industries, jobs, and that creates a coaching opportunity and a developmental opportunity. It's very difficult to coach a person who's coming out of a job and lost their career and say, okay, you might want to start a business, when businesses and the whole structure of society is changing. But if you're going to look to invest into the mind and coach people through developing their minds at the beginning levels as an NMA coach or a practitioner, then you're going to be entering into an expanding industry rather than a contracting one. You know, people need to be able to step out of what they're doing and pay their bills, and be able to see that there is a future, something that is sustainable, not that they're just going to get retrained in something that is, you know, going to stop again because AI steps in. Human beings in themselves are an investable opportunity, and that's what this program is going to do for you. So let's look at what we do here and the process of getting involved. Now, the first thing you've got to do is get and apply, really. It's taking action. You've got to make a decision. You've got to make a choice. And you're going to go, oh, is this for me? Or I'm not sure. And these are all your limitations coming forward, first and foremost, as opposed to going, yeah, I want to develop. I want to work with other people. I want to get somewhere. It's not going to cost me any money, so I might as well do it. It's a no-brainer. But we as human beings, at the moment, because we're in a negatively polarized society, are gearing towards the negative all the time, gearing towards the limitation, gearing to the doubt, delay, denial, distraction, distortion and deletion of information. So we can't really do anything. We're always putting off something. So to apply for this, you've got to do it. You've got to say, okay, I'm going to go for this. And there's a prize, there's an end goal, a destination of £1 million, which comes from compound influence. This is your ability to inspire, motivate, coach, and develop a small group of people so they can do the same thing as you. In other words, you're transferring skills. There are three ways to look at knowledge and skills. One is to not use them, just sit on them. The other is to use them for yourself, and the other is to use them for yourself and provide them to other people. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know there's a lot more impact with training other people to do what you can do, a lot more capacity for you to have impact, as well as change your environment, change your capacity, change your finances. But to get on this program, you can't get on it by paying for it. There's none of that. You have to get on it by providing you front and centre to a panel, and an interview panel for sponsorship. And those are going to be people who have already been through the first part of this program, the first month's training, and they're going to be wanting to see if you are somebody that they would like to invest into. It doesn't mean that you've got an idea or something that you want to do. It's about you. And if you look at something like Dragon's Den, the TV show, the investors are looking for a good idea, and they're also looking to believe in the person. This takes out the good idea. It's just belief in you, that you have the desire to make the world a better place through making yourself a better person. And if they believe in that, then they're going to sponsor you. They're going to sponsor you through this 4-week program, which is the foundational part of the 21-week program that you may be able to go on. Now, if you don't make it through the investor panel, you can go away, have a look at the resources, go onto the Mind Gym Lite. It's got a lot of free resources on there. Check out some of the books, check out all the information relating to polymathic training, our website, the university, all these things, and start to get a feel for what people are looking for from other people in terms of their empathetic understanding and the shift from the I focus to the us mentality. It's a good position for you to start to convince other people that you're worth believing in. If you don't believe in yourself, how can you convince somebody else? But there is no losers in this program. It's just where you have to go around the same circuit again to really not just convince yourself, but convince other people. You might be kidding yourself, and people want to know that you're true. Okay, so each one of these modules is set over a week with day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And module 1 is recruitment. Now, when you're looking to run a business in terms of coaching, and you want to work with people, whether it's clients or whether it's with people that you want to train who are going to work with you, then you've got to be able to recruit those people. And it's not just about going and placing an advert and getting anybody, because not everybody can potentially be a suitable fit for you to invest your time and get great results. And that is a very important part of coaching that people don't really get. They don't understand that it's not just any old client. I want to fill my book and see loads of people. If you want to build a business, you've got to get the right quality and caliber of client. And that means you've got to do a provisional interview. That means that you've got to ask them about what they want, where they want to go, and see if you're a good fit, not just try to sell your services. And to be able to do that, you've got to be able to question. You've got to be able to be good at the art of questioning. And unfortunately, most people, they think that they're good at stuff. They think they're the best. The ego comes forward, but you need to be able to study this and study psychology. And in this, it's the psychology of neuroplastic mental acceleration, which covers 7 different disciplines that you'll go through this training, which is psychology, philosophy, theology, physiology, metaphysics, quantum physics, and spirituality. You're also going to go through the AI revolution, and you're also going to be able to go through aspects of flow state, hemispheric synchronization, quantum psychology, theoretical consciousness, and non-combative argument. Really hardcore disciplines. And you've got to assess as to whether the person that you're going to invest your time in is worth you investing your time in, because they will be able to move you to the next level. And you have to be able to make a decision. And a lot of the time people are very poor at making good decisions. And we're going to look at how we break down making better quality decisions so we can have compound influence. And that means the people that you're going to start to work with are going to want to relate to you. They're going to work with you. They want to develop with you because you give them the belief. And you're prepared to invest into those people. So when we're working with people in NMA, we are investing into people. NMA as a structure is called the human blockchain at a professional level, where we're investing into a person that will become a trainer and train other people. And this means that we are training a person and then mentoring a person. So there's a lot of support that goes in there. But we've got a lot of investment of time, and we want to get a return off of that time. We don't want to just train someone and they go, well, thanks very much, goodbye, that's it. Because it's just a dead end. We just got to get more and more people, more and more clients. You want to have an elevational process where you're going to be able to work with people across time for ever greater gains. This is, again, compound influence. So in investment, when you're building a team in terms of this program, and it's a team that you're going to practice the techniques to work with, so you will be doing the training, you will move up. You're going to have to learn about onboarding, managing expectations, consolidating outcomes, discipline, telling people what you would like to happen, giving them something called a statement of intent, and getting them to let go of old paradigms as much as you do, as much as you hold within yourself. Then we move into module 3, which is motivation. This is where you're going to start to do training. You're going to start to understand what polymathic training is, quantum psychology training, theoretical consciousness, and non-combative argument. You're going to start to understand the NMA coaching process, which means language patterns, thought patterns, physiological patterns, all the things that allow you to be able to help another person, not, as I said, just through coaching tips and tricks, but where you're going to be able to build their mind on a neuroplastic synaptogenesis and neurogenesis level. At this level, we're not going to go in to the higher activation levels, but we're certainly going to do the groundwork. And we need to talk to a person about destination thinking, where they want to go. Most people have got not a clue what they want from life, not a clue of what they think life should be. They don't have a personal philosophical belief system. They just have a unconsciously adopted personal perspective reality. And how to develop, if you're going to go for your destination, consistency, commitment, and confidence about your fact that you're going to get somewhere. Just like if you were taking a team up a mountain, you want them to believe that you as a leader can get them there, that you can coach them and mentor them through the good times and the bad times, through the troubles and the victories. This is what this is about. And then you're going into support. So you're going to be doing one-to-one calls each week with your team. And your team is going to be a team of around about 10 people. It won't be any more, but it may be less depending on the activity levels that you put in. You're going to be doing problem solving. You're going to be doing decision making, strategy, and the agility of mind to move with the market, as opposed to going, I want this, this is the box I want to work in, and that's my lot. That isn't going to suit this program, because all of these things, we call it RIMS, where it's recruitment, investment, motivation and support, is what you're going to be giving your coaching team. You are going to be training them in it. Now, when you get past the first 4 weeks, you're going to get a second stage investor selection. So the people that have invested in you, or the individual, is again going to look at you. How you got through that first 4 weeks, and decide as to whether the next stage of becoming an investor level 2 into people is going to suit you, whether it's going to be the right time for you, whether you've got the right application and dedication. And that's going to come across like with any person, how much motivation they give back. It's not what they're taking from the table, it's what they're giving back. And if you don't succeed, then you can apply again. You go around the circuit again, and you'll go through the training again until somebody says, okay, I want to move you on to the next section. Okay, this is completely open to you. No one is going to put you down. No one is going to be anything other than a reflection of you to yourself. It's the ultimate mirror. And as I said, I don't mind whether you're an experienced coach, a motivator, or whoever you are on this planet. This is the ultimate mirror of who you are to yourself, because people around you are going to say, I just don't believe in you, or they do. And for both you and me, we prefer that they did than they didn't. So if we move to the second slide, now this is the second part of the training. And if you go into the investor position, you've got to start to look at more detail about how you're going to work and collaborate with other people. And that's called panel collaboration, and how you're going to source potential candidates that you can coach and mentor. As I said, very key not to pick people that aren't open to growth, and that there is a calibration tool that you can use when you're looking to recruit people to see if they've got high PQ. This is called potential quota. It's the ability for the brain to grow and develop. That's the kind of person they're going to want, and we have tools for you to assess that to make it easy for you. Now, the selection process, again, is you're now finding yourself on the different side of the table. You've got people coming in, and you're deciding as to whether that person will be an asset for you to coach and train and invest your time into, to get the compound influence back from. If a person represents a hole in the ground and you just keep putting more effort into it, it's a pointless waste of time. So you have to be quite solid here. You can't just go with, oh, I really care about the person, they're really nice and I'd like to give them a chance. This person has got to get you to where you need to go. And in any business context, whether you're running a coaching business or whether you're running a training business or a mentoring business or all three, you've got to start to make better quality decisions. That is what compounds towards your level of success, reward, impact. And you have to be able to make a decision. It can't be like, oh, I want to think about that. You've got to make a solid decision there and then. And again, it's an amount of pressure going on you to be able to go, I know where I want to go here, and this person's going to be a good asset because I've asked the right questions. And as an investor, you're going to look at your commitment and their commitment. So when you're doing a coaching course with someone, you've got to have commitment from the other party, and you've got to be able to commit yourself to them. Your job is to get them through the difficulties, to make the unconscious conscious, as Carl Jung put it. And this means also learning to team build. This is called group coaching. Group coaching is different to individual coaching because you're going to get a different dynamic. And this is where you're going to be learning how to train people in that group scenario. And you need to get goal setting. And this isn't just your average goal. Well, this is what I want to earn this in a couple of years. This is using timeline techniques, NLP techniques to really get the person to buy into the future vision that they want to operate in. So we're going to be using NMA, NLP, coaching techniques, mentoring techniques, business techniques. These are all part of this program. And then you're moving into motivation, strategy, and collaboration, innovation and action. You've got to be able to motivate the people working with you. They've got to believe that you can lead them to where they need to go. And moving them into support, where you're going to give individual support. You're going to be learning further and practicing your weekly individual calls, your team calls, your panel relationships, and coming up with new initiatives. Now, to move into this investment area, this whole investment area of the program, you have to, as I said, select people that you are going to invest your time in, and you're also going to have to invest funds into. Now, fortunately for you, the investment of funds is not a lot. We're talking about, in a month, a cup of coffee and a Starbucks equivalent muffin to each person within the team that you're going to develop up to 10 people. That's it. And if you really can't, be bothered to invest a cup of coffee and a muffin into a person in terms of financial equivalent, it says a lot about you. It says a lot about your belief in yourself and a belief in other people. But that investment is a financial token, if you like. It's also an investment of your time, your thought, your application to those people throughout the month about how they're getting on, to assess each person and see what problems they're coming up against, not walk away from them, not look at them as a difficulty, but resolve them. But also, you're going to have to do things such as let them go. That means that if they're not coming up to the mark, they're not attending the training, well, that's going to cost you in the long term in terms of compound influence and compound energy. Your energy, if you're not getting it from your team members, is going to go down. So you've got to make hard decisions about whether this person is going to take you to your goal. And we've set that as £1 million, which is a mathematical certainty, other than the fact that human beings have a difficulty with doing things that actually get them to where they need to go. They get distracted all the time. They've got lots of doubt, lots of issues, lots of problems that they come up with that come first. And this is why people don't get the kinds of lives that they want, because they're always busy being busy. Again, this coaching program and mentoring program is about really getting a person's mind to become focused and focused on the goal at hand. Now, when you're developing through the 21 weeks, you've done the foundation, you've now started to recruit your team, you've recruited 10, now you've got to go into taking other choices. Just like with anything, you've got to decide as to whether you want to recruit individuals who can give your team special skills. And you've got to assess the viability of those skills. And you've got to select the assets. Now, this is interesting for you because as a coach, you're going to be able to step into other things like hypnosis, like breath work, like meditation, all the different modalities that are out there, and decide as to whether they're of benefit. And really make a key decision about it again, and select your assets. Select as to whether members of your team are worth investing into in terms of that additional training. And then you've got to invest. Again, the RIMS process repeats itself, but just with different nuances, different focuses. So you've got to start to look at creating events, how to network, how to determine returns from within your group. It's not about outside. You want to have more going on with your group, because now you're going to be responsible for 10 people who are all training 10 people within their groups, and you've got to really move up to that mentoring position and say, okay, you're going to have difficulties. This is where the difficulties I had. This is what you might want to think about. Here's some attitudes, some directions that is going to help you. This is going to get you a better return all the time. And in the back of your mind, you're going to be determining whether you can hit that million or not. It is just down to you. There is no one between you and it. It's just your ability to manifest your skills and influence other people, which is compound influence. And then you're looking to motivate and give people confidence, communication and creativity as much as yourself. And then supporting them to get that compound influence, to innovate and to inspire other people. And as you can see across the top of this slide, you're moving from working with a few people to working in a group, in a social group, to actually working on in front of a camera, to actually doing a conference, which is public speaking, which is really the ultimate of any coach, in the fact that you're going to inspire more people. And that's what this program will do for you. And within a live fire situation that is going to put you to the test, is going to ask you to make really considered choices and decisions and get you to be able to work with other people. This isn't just about you. It isn't your I focus. It's about having an us mentality and achieving. And through the program, you may not get to £1 million, but that's the target. And if you do, then there is a 10 million position to go for. But even so, there are other programs that you can enter into after this that can give you a professional training based on this foundational training at more advanced levels, whether you want to be a therapist, whether you want to be a trainer, whether you want to run an international coaching organisation, whether you just want to help a few people or be part of a collaborative which is helping the many, which is certainly what the Council for Human Development and the Human Blockchain is all about. So the first position for you is to sign up on the Mind Gym Lite, have a look what's there, you'll get a flavour for what's going on, and then apply to be in front of a panel. And the panel will be a Zoom call where they just ask you, no, they're nice people, they're people who have been in front of you, they're just further down the road, and they want the best from you, and all they want to see is that you want the best for yourself.